So what's going on, everybody? So I decided to come out today. I was actually going to go and do some landscape photography, but I got a late start to my morning, and then it's Sunday afternoon, and I realized that there was a particular football game that I wanted to watch that starts at 1 o'clock. So I've only got about an hour and a half before the game starts, so I want to make sure that I get back. So I figured an hour and a half probably gives me a good time to do something that I hadn't done yet before, and that's kind of a what's in my camera bag thing. So I didn't prep to do a what's in my camera bag vlog today, so you're truly going to get exactly what I typically have in my bag on just any given day. I didn't put anything special in it today, so when we go through things, you're going to see exactly what I typically have in my bag when I go out and shoot. Excuse me. But on top of that, I figured also there's been a trend lately on with all the landscape photographer, YouTubers, and whatnot out there to try to kind of give a shout out to their favorite photographers and so on and so forth, and their favorite YouTubers. So I figured I'd take the opportunity today while I'm doing my what's in my camera bag to also go through and share with you some of the landscape photographers slash YouTubers that have really inspired me throughout my almost 1 year journey of doing this landscape vlog and this YouTube thing. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So first and foremost, I'll talk about the camera that I'm shooting with right now for my vlog. My vlog setup is a Panasonic Lumix G85. It's a great small compact mirrorless camera. It does 4K, which I like to shoot in 4K. Sometimes I'll shoot in 1080 if I want to get some slower shutter speed, or to film it in a 60 frames per second opposed to 24 frames per second if I want to get some slow motion on some of my B-roll footage that you all know I like to do so much. I'll use a 1080p at 60 frames per second. But typically with the Lumix G85, I'm shooting it at 4K at 24 frames per second. It's a great small camera. I mean, it's not the best. It's right around the $1,000 range here in the US. I'm not sure how much it is currently, but when I picked it up, it was about $1,000 with the kit lens. The kit lens is a 12 to 60 millimeter lens, which on a micro four thirds camera equivalates to about a 24 to 120 lens. So it has a good look. It's got a good focal range for me to use when I make my vlogs. And with that, I usually have the Rode Video Micro attached to it. It's a great small, lightweight microphone that gives great quality sound. So definitely a small, lightweight, easy setup, but it's a great little camera. I've always been pleased with the G85. I have no need to upgrade or transition to another camera for my vlogging setup. So that's what I'm shooting with right now, and that's what I shoot most of my vlogs with, is the Panasonic G85. The bag itself, now, I love the bag. It's a low pro Photo Sport BP 300 AW2. So I think the AW is pretty much meaning this for all weather. I'm not really sure, but I would assume that it's for all weather. This is a great bag. I've had it for just over a year now, and I beat it up quite a bit. It's starting to wear some on the outer edges from when I lay it down on rocks or lay it down on stuff, but it's really done me well. It's lightweight because I like to do a lot of hiking as well, so this suits me for doing some hiking and trekking, and I'll be doing a lot more of that next year as well. The outer pocket here's got plenty of storage, where a lot of times in this area here I'll throw a lightweight windbreaker or a lightweight rain jacket if I'm going to be going out in inclement weather, if I know it's going to be inclement, or I'll stuff in my my beanie cap or my gloves in this area as well. The camera is stored actually on this the side pocket here in the bag. It's got nice good clips and snaps on each side. Alright, so I'm just going to start going through the bag, and we'll talk about the things that are in there that we find. The first thing that I have is a good flashlight. I recommend that you always carry a flashlight in your bag. This is a Smith & Wesson. It's got great LED. It does red and blue, and then it's also got some really good light. The batteries tend to stay really well in this flashlight, but again, anytime you're out doing landscape photography and you're going to be out during the hours of darkness or low light, I always recommend having a good flashlight available. So this is always in my bag. Sometimes I'll even have two, so I'm not sure if there's a second one in there. But if you can see, what I do have two of in this bag are headlamps. Again, lighting. You can never have enough light when you're out doing landscape photography, especially if you're doing a lot of good sunsets or sunrise photos where you're going out before sunrise and going home or getting back to your vehicle or back to your shelter after sun is set. So definitely have some great lights. Both of these are the rechargeable versions, so all I got to do is plug them in with the USB cord and plug them into the wall, and they'll recharge themselves, which is really nice because I don't have to worry about having a bunch of spare batteries on hand to replace them as I need. I just need to make sure that I remember to plug these in to recharge them as I go. These are both black diamonds. They make a very good product for headlamps. It's a rock climbing outfitting gear, so they're very good quality, very sturdy, very rugged. The next thing I have is a very inexpensive intervalometer. I haven't used this in a while because I switched to just using a standard Nikon cable release, but this here is a really good intervalometer. It's just one of the cheaper ones made by Polaroid, but it's great if you want to do, you know, timed long exposures or time lapses or so on and so forth. It's very good for that. You can start, you can set a timer on it, and you can let it run as long as it needs to. There. So that's the contents in the upper hood. I'm going to go ahead and open up the main part of the bag. Okay, this is new actually to my bag. I just picked it up a couple of weeks ago because I added a piece of kit to my bag that I've been waiting to add and that I have yet to get out and use yet. I was hoping to do that today, but forgot that I wanted to go watch a football game. But anyway, these are my filter. This is a filter system. This being carried by a Low Pro Filter Pouch 100. I just picked this up. I moved away from another one that I had. You've probably seen it in my videos. It's the blue one that I use. It was great, but it just didn't fit the filter systems like I wanted to, especially since I went ahead and added the Lee polarizer filter to my kit, something that I've been really wanting to, really needing to add to my bag. I've yet to go out and use it, so definitely expect to see a video about that coming up real soon. Now the filters that I have, I've only got the, you know, the basic standard ones. I've got the Lee 6-stop neutral density filter, the little stopper, the Lee 10-stop big stopper, and then I've got soft edge grad filters, you know, the 0.3, 0.6, and 0.9. But yeah, definitely great product. Lee filter system, a must-have for any good landscape photography. All right, after that, this here is my 70-200 lens. It's a Tamron. It's their most recent version 2 of this, their G2 lens. I've been wanting to get a 70-200 lens, and you know, on a budget, I don't try to spend a ton of money, even though when you start adding it all up, you do spend quite a bit of money. But I didn't want to spend a ton of money on a 70-200 lens. But it's a good lens. I haven't had any problems with it. It has a good autofocus system. It seems to have good sharp images. It's got nice vibration control reduction on it. So yeah, it's a really good lens. I haven't used it a ton for landscape, but I do see myself doing that more in the future. Gloves, I just put these in there a couple of weeks ago because obviously it's becoming winter and it's getting cold here in New England. I think today it's just above 40 degrees, so it's a little bit chilly, but not so bad. I have some sun in front of me that's providing some warmth. So definitely a good set of gloves. These are made by North Face and they're Gore-Tex, and they're just great. They're not the photography gloves where you can pull the fingers off, but if you've seen me taking photographs in the winter, they go on and off a lot while I'm out there taking images. So now there's a pocket on the inside of the Low Pro bag that I carry a lot of small items, like this here. This is just a memory card case that I have so I can keep my memory cards in. It's, you know, supposedly waterproof, drop proof, dust proof, so on and so forth, but it was cheap. I think it was a few bucks off Amazon. Something good to have in there. So I got 2 spare batteries for the Nikon and 2 spare batteries for the Panasonic in there. So that's definitely a must as well, but you got to make sure, unlike I did on one of my videos, you got to make sure that they're all properly charged before you put them in your bag, or else when you get out there they're going to be useless for you anyway. Cable release, this is just the Nikon standard cable release, the MC DC2. Nice little product. Windy weather, you don't want to have a lot of camera shake with your tripod and your camera and you touching your camera or whatnot. Definitely have a cable release in your bag. The last thing I have in there is just a, you know, microfiber cloths. You can't have enough of these little microfiber cloths in your bag, especially with me when I shoot here in New England. I'm around a lot of seascapes around the ocean quite a bit, so you get a lot of ocean spray, salt water on your lenses, and you just got to make sure that you keep that nice and clean. So this is the main camera. It's a full frame Nikon D750. great camera. I just love it. Granted, if I was had a little bit bigger budget, I probably would have purchased the D810 at the time, but that was just a little bit out of my price range for the camera. So I went ahead and got the D750. Prior to this, I was shooting with the Nikon D7100, which was a great small crop sensor camera. I loved it. Some of my better images that I've ever taken were with that camera. It's got great low light capabilities. It's just a great camera all around. I'm not too big on like all the technical and specifications of the cameras, honestly, but I just know it takes great images. It's a full frame camera, 24 megapixel full frame camera. On it I have my favorite lens that you always see me shoot with, and that is the Nikon 16-35 f4. But it's just all around a great lens. I've never had any problems with it. So that's what's in the bag. And the last thing I guess I talk about is my tripod. It's the Manfrotto 055. It's not the one with the carbon fiber legs. Again, it's got to stay within a budget. So this one here's just got the aluminum legs, which is fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not too worried about the weight of the bag or whatnot. I did switch it to a Arca Swiss adapter on the ball head, just because I like to use the Arca Swiss instead. So, but that's pretty much what's in my bag. And yeah, so what I'll do now is I'm going to transition and start talking about a few of the photographers that I really like to watch and that I think are very inspiring out there in YouTube. Alright, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about these photographers. And like I mentioned, or just like I'd like to tell you that I'm not doing this in any particular order. I just happened to sit down and start taking some notes, and these are the ones that I thought about, that I've really enjoyed watching, and that have actually helped me get inspiration to do things differently. So without further ado, the first one I'd like to talk about is Nick Swisher. Now, this young man, I tell you what, Nick, you're an inspiration, because you're in high school, you're a young teenager, you could be out doing so many other things, but your passion and your eagerness to learn photography and do it at the level that you're doing right now, it's very inspiring to know that there's young people out there that enjoy doing this as much as you do. Nick just got done doing a trip out to Zion National Park and had a nice good series of fall vlogs to do some really good photography in the Narrows. So definitely go to his channel and take a look at his stuff. He's just a great young man. He's got some really good things in his vlog, talks about some really good things. I think he just picked up a large format camera, so he's going to be dabbling into that. So each of the people that I mentioned, I'll put a description in the link below, and I'll probably attach a card for one of their videos on the screen itself. So definitely go check out Nick's channel. Awesome young photographer. So the next guy I'd like to talk about is Vernon Photography. He's out of Colorado, and he's just got a very infectious personality that once you start watching his videos, you just got to keep watching them. And on top of that, he's a great landscape photographer. He's got some amazing images in his portfolio. But he's out of Colorado, and he gets out and he does a lot of great hikes in some very remote locations in the Rocky Mountains. So I know that he and I have talked on YouTube a couple of times through comments, and on my trip next summer, I'm really thinking about looking old Vernon up. Maybe we'll go out and do a shoot together. So definitely check out Vernon Photography. Again, in no particular order, that this list definitely wouldn't be complete if I didn't have Paul G. Johnson on the list. He's a great, energetic British guy. He's been following me since I started early last year. He's always been very supportive of me. And so I definitely appreciate that, Paul. And he's just got that infectious smile that when you see it, when he's talking on his vlogs and he's talking about photography, you can just tell how passionate he is about what he does, and he just loves doing it, and he's doing it just to have fun. So thanks again, Paul, for all the support that you've given me throughout the time. Let's see, and next guy is Lee Case. Lee Case is, again, he's a British guy, British photographer. Another one of those guys that's just got a very infectious personality. He just loves to enjoy himself while he's out doing his vlogs. And he's also just a great photographer. He's got some great images in his portfolio as well. And if you notice, a lot of times that the ones that I'm mentioning you may not have heard, and that's because a lot of us are really small YouTubers. With the exception of Paul. Paul's not that small anymore. He's a few thousand followers, but for most of us that are small YouTubers, I just think it's important that we support each other and let each other know how much we inspire the others' work. You know, there's some really big YouTubers out there, but I think it's important that the small ones stick together and support each other. So definitely go check out Lee Case Photography. Great vlog, great images all around. Alright, so the next one I'm going to talk about is a unique channel. It's one that I really enjoy watching. I've watched it for a long time, and I just recently, for some reason, found out that I wasn't subscribed to his channel, but I went ahead and subscribed. But I've been watching it for a long time. And that's Jason from the Primal Outdoors channel. It's an awesome channel. He's out of Oregon. Same place that I graduated not the same town, but Oregon is where I graduated high school and where my wife is from, so I have a lot of connection to Oregon. But his is a great, it's called the Primal Outdoors. And what he does is he's a landscape photographer, but he's also a avid outdoor camping guru. He's got his truck set up for overlanding, so he likes to do all that kind of stuff. And that's something that I'll be doing all of next summer. So I definitely like watching his channel because I learn a lot from him for the outdoors and camping side of things. So Jason, great channel. I love watching the Primal Outdoors. Alright, so I'm only going to mention a few more in detail, and then I'll list just the ones that I watch. So again, I apologize to you if I don't mention you in detail on the vlog. David Hurst. Okay, so David Hurst is from the UK as well, which I understand that a lot of them are UK photographers, you know, but that's alright. He's just brutally honest. I gotta love it. He'll tell you right up front exactly what how he's feeling, but that's great. He's, again, a very infectious personality. Just love watching his channel. He's got some great work. Just picked up a drone. I think he just picked up the Mavic Pro. His most recent vlog was him out flying it and having fun. And that's, I think, the biggest thing I can take away is just, that's why we do this. We do this to have fun. We do this to enjoy ourselves. We do this to get out in nature. So, and David definitely does that, and he's brutally honest when he does it. So thanks for all the support, David. You're always there for me. And one of the last ones that I'll mention, he definitely doesn't need any promoting whatsoever when it comes to YouTube and vlogs, but he's a definite inspiration to me, and that's Peter McKinnon. Peter McKinnon is by far my most favorite YouTuber there is. I mean, his cinematography skills are just through the roof. I just love his filmmaking style, his personality, and what he does. He doesn't do a lot of landscape photography or anything like that within his vlogs. It's just, he's more onto the cinematography and filmmaking side of it, and I love his stuff. It's just great. So, yep, Peter McKinnon. I mentioned him in my video, but that's alright. Alright, so now I'm going to mention just a bunch of the guys that I watched that I didn't spend a lot of detail in. And again, it doesn't mean that I don't like your channel as much as I do the other ones. It's just, if I'd have done this, we'd be here all day. So, here are some of the ones that I've been watching for a while that are great channels, so if you want to see them, go check them out. Ben Futrell, Adam Gibbs, he's a Northwest photographer, Andrew Marr, Photo Ninja, Hallam Photo, another Oregonian, Mujahid's Photography, I think he's out of South Africa, Simon Baxter, Stephen Hanna, Clint Boonton, and last but not least, everybody knows Thomas Heaton. He doesn't need any promoting either. Thomas Heaton was definitely the person that has inspired me to get out and do this vlogging thing. I saw his videos after I started to learn photography myself. I learned a lot of the actual photography side of things through watching Thomas Heaton's videos. And then through watching his videos and whatnot, I decided that I wanted to try the vlogging thing myself and get out there and try to do this. So his storytelling is like no other. He definitely is captivating when he tells his stories about when he's out there adventuring, exploring, and doing these landscape photography things. So Thomas, definitely thank you for the inspiration that you've given myself and everybody else out there. Paved the way for us to go forward. I think that's all I had to cover today. To everyone out there that watches my channel, I just want to say thank you very much. Your support, your comments, you're taking your time out of your day to come watch my content. It is very appreciated. I can't thank you enough. So if you're just new to my channel, go watch some of my other videos if you haven't watched any already. Hopefully you'll like the content that you see. I try to get out as often as I can to make new videos and new content. But thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you like this content. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. And until next time, I'll see you later, and be blessed.